Hello, it's Andy Graham with the Ask Andy Show. It's Friday. I've been to 90 countries and I've traveled non-stop worldwide for 16 plus years and continuing. I never stayed in one place longer than 3 months. One hotel longer than 3 months. Okay. Dana F. ask a question. She's from New Jersey, and she asked it, why a successful real estate broker didn't you invest your high income into real estate and live off the rents? I tried to do that, and you know, really, there's two sides of it. I didn't really start out as a real estate broker. I started out buying houses. You can buy houses no money down, and I bought. I have purchased over 60 houses, but at one time I had roughly, I don't know, 20 rental properties and whatever that I bought no money down. Now, okay, the big problem on real estate, and whether I never really had that much money just sitting there. I had a couple houses I paid for completely cash. The house I lived in was completely free of loans, but I never really had that many. I guess I was always trying to grow, so a lot of the money kept going into, you got to invest money to make money ideas, right? Which is really kind of hokey bullshit. What you got to do is lower the best way to do it is to lower your monthly, what do you call it, overhead down to about zero. See, I could go back into real estate right now and make a fortune because I could have a $50 a month unlimited cell phone internet access, and I would hardly have any of this office crap. I would just get rid of all the overhead and sell myself, because really all this stuff doesn't really help you to sell real estate. But I was at the stage where I was always having an office and stuff, and the office and all the workers and all this stuff ate up all my cash in a lot of ways. But the bottom line, though, is answering a question more simply. I managed up to 235 properties, and unless a property is absolutely perfect, I mean, a 3-bedroom in my city, in Fort Wayne, a 3-bedroom city car with a house with a garage for $75,000 will, you know, you could rent it out almost continually using a manager and make money. But you know, it's the idea that you have to have a manager for the property, and it's very difficult. I mean, you're only going to be able to buy 2 or 3 of these things, no matter how much money you earn. But if you had 3 houses, $700,000, you know, it's about $75,000 a piece, paid for, yeah, you could turn them over to a manager and probably make money. Generally, the problem with real estate is any housing real estate needs so much attention. The only kind of real estate, there's only 3 places where I know you can invest in real estate and almost always make money. That's nursing home type businesses or retirement homes, casinos, and you see Donald Trump did the casino thing, and kind of apartment complexes. So in the long run, what I've learned is I should have skipped all the houses and just bought an apartment complex, but I never did. And I tried to one time. We tried to buy one. But if I could have got an apartment complex, then you can have a manager that basically makes sure that everything's taken care of. Having a person that you trust for longer than you know, for numerous years is really a tough thing. I mean, you can trust a company, but they change, right? So, you know, then as real estate, in a way, it can become almost an emergency trip home. And I really just, I know all the managers in the area, I know all the stuff, and I just didn't know anybody that would do anything more than just bleed me dry. see what they do is the managers will send over crews to do work, and they end up getting, you know, $50 an hour, $100 an hour, and they end up taking all your rent that way. That's why the house has to be perfect. Okay, absolutely no maintenance for at least a year, and then they're going to have this. So I mean, if I bought 3 houses right now cash, what I would do is buy them. I would rent them all out on the same day, get a 1-year lease, and then come back 1 year from now and basically help the manager to get all the work done. And because at the end of the day, owning houses is maintenance work, and unless you have somebody like a plumber or I mean, if I had a partner, I was always trying to get this guy Jeff to. I should have got this guy Jeff. Just gave him a sweetheart deal in a way. If you get a partner that's a plumber or a fix-it man or whatever that can repair anything and everything, and really you've used for years and years, not just somebody you sort of know, because most people really, you know, they really just procrastinate. So, but it's just a tough investment, okay? It doesn't just let you leave and, you know, I mean, like a condo unit in New York City, probably I could turn it over to a management company and do it. But I'm in Indiana, and it's just not, you know, New York has these incredibly high rents, right? And they have this, you know, really stuff. But just never found, you know, what I wanted to do was buy. What I'd like to do, if I was going to do it again, I would try to buy probably 50 in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'd try to buy about houses about $55,000, pay for them all cash. I started in a company, what do you call it? C-Corp. It's I started a limited liability corporation, a corporation called what was it called? All Equity Investments. And the bottom line is everybody wants to invest. They don't want secure investments. They want, you know, make home run investment. I found it, I couldn't get anybody to invest cash in an all equity investment that could make 15 to 30%. They wanted the leverage thing. They wanted to leverage it and have the bank carry the note and make, you know, 60, you know, they wanted a dream amount of money, and that's the problem with most people in investment. They want this upside incredibly high, and I couldn't get it above about guaranteed in my emotional status or way I looked at it above 20%. Although I could get 20% on all equity investments in real estate, quite easy. But at the other side, what I did is I bought a lot. I must have bought 30 houses where I just bought them for like, I don't know, $5,000 and turned around and sold them the next day for $12,000 or $10,000 or $15,000, making roughly $5,000 to $10,000 a pop. And if I came back to Fort Wayne, that's what I would do. I would just get really good at the market, know the market, buy houses and flip them, because I can do this like water. But good question, but it's just not just buying stuff. It's the maintenance, and the maintenance on houses is just never ending, okay? And unless you're just a total slumlord and you really don't care about people at all, it's really tough. And I really, you know, unless you can fix anything and everything, and I can fix everything but a broken heart, but I don't want to be a construction worker. I want to be a writer. And when you own real estate, you're basically a construction worker, a maintenance man. And if you don't want to be a maintenance man, it gets really tough, because it's all about maintenance of the building. I mean, hotels. I'd love to own a hotel. I'd probably much rather own a bed and breakfast, and I think I could turn it over to a manager that would love to manage it. Yeah, so if I think about it, maybe if I came back, what I would do is buy a bed and breakfast. Because these houses, I mean, these guys will get $100 a night for a room in a house in the middle of nowhere. Okay, you know? So you just buy a big house for $150,000 cash, and rent out each room, and if you take the math of it, you got 4 rooms, 4 bedrooms, 400 times, if you could average out $50 a night, 4 times that's $200 a day, 200 times 365, and that's the kind of cash you can make, and you can hire a manager and somebody, and there's social status in managing. You got to understand, getting managers is real tough because there's, everybody calls rental properties slumlords. Anybody that manages constantly called a slumlord, no matter what they own. But if you own an apartment complex or you own the bed and breakfast, then they're not going to call you a slumlord. And this is half the problem too, is who wants to be sitting around having a job with negative connotations about it. Negative words about it. But it's a tough thing. I thought many times about buying houses in Sosúa, Dominican Republic. There's just hundreds of houses there that have been just sitting, completely owned, completely equity free. I mean, 100% owned, free and clear, and probably by somebody that's 70 years old, about ready to die, and this thing's just going to go to the country of Dominican Republic. And I thought about buying them, flipping them, and making $20,000-$30,000 a piece. But it takes about a $300,000 investment. I don't have that, but I know all about this. But I at the end of the day, and I shouldn't evade this. I was a recovering alcoholic. I stopped drinking, and truthfully, that really caused me problems for 15 years. So I was in real estate for about 15 years. So I never outran all the problems that was caused by my alcoholism. And it just caused me, it's like a problem that never stops giving. Okay. But now they're completely clear. And I could actually go back into real estate real easy in America. And if I did it, I would just, I'd probably just flip houses 3 or 4 times a year and make $50,000, and maybe 5, 10, because that's like no work, and I don't have to deal with many personalities. I don't have to deal with all the quirky natures of people, because at the end of the day, you want to talk to people that you like, and when you can't control that completely, it's really tough. But having rental properties means you're going to talk to people you don't like, because they're always calling up right before the rent's due and start complaining, blah, 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 because they don't want to pay the rent. Blah, 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 blah. It's every month. Every person in the house feels like the 5 days before they give up their $500, $600, $700 rent, they have to tell you all their maintenance problems, and and what they're trying to do is, they're always trying to work it. And it just gets tired to see this type of personality, and that's a lot of it right there. I just got tired of hearing people that I thought were good people, that seemed like good people, just come up with these Mickey Mouse tricks. It's not fun to sell real estate. You got mom and pops that steal the curtains right before the closings because they know that the buyer's just not going to be able to do anything, right? You got really... I don't like to see human nature at that level. But real estate is full. I mean, when you start talking $100,000 property, $300,000 property, what people will do is just scary. I mean, lie, cheat, and steal, yes. If they think they can get away with it, and they want to bring me into the deal too, because I won't. And it's just a whole business full of things. But you can do it. And I mean, if you got an extra $300,000, you can buy 4 or 5 properties, make them perfectly maintenance free for at least 1 year. Make sure that all the leases start on the same date, the same year. So everything's got to start. And 3 or 4 bedroom houses will always rent to families, but they tear them apart more than single people. But single people, like condos are very difficult to rent. So you get this high vacancy rate. It's all a bunch of math, but it's not just as simple as buying an investment. When you buy houses, you really what we want to do is we want to invest money and just get money back. Okay, Andy Graham. Oh, adding on to this, right now my fulfillment by Amazon.com is 100 times better than investing in real estate. I mean, I would dump $30,000-$50,000 in this within a second, because selling my products on Amazon.com is like a no-brainer business deal. I mean, you don't have to do anything other than buy the product and put it up there, which is complicated. But once you get them up there, they just sell with almost no brain work. eBay is a lot of work.